What? Good evening. My name's Evan and welcome to Rockland Graves. I've been to the movie theater 4 times this month. I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was a very good movie. I saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which was absolutely hilarious. I saw The Northman, which was one of the best movies I've seen in a very long time. And I saw Men. And what the fuck? Now, I was frustrated going into this movie because I thought that the trailer I saw gave away way too much, and I'm really tired of that happening. If you feel that way, rest easy, you have no idea what you're getting into. No spoilers in this video, by the way, so you're totally safe. The film was written and directed by Alex Garland and stars Jessie Buckley and Rory Kinnear. Now, I'll say right off the bat that if you're not a fan of art house horror and you don't usually like A24 films, I don't think this movie's gonna do much for you. I've been on both sides. Some of these movies I've absolutely loved and some not so much. I find that at times these types of films can get too indulgent in the weirdness factor and it gets in the way of the story being told. Men has some of the most insane and shocking imagery I've seen in a while and is absolutely filled to the brim with metaphors and symbolism, but thankfully doesn't get lost in it. It still manages to tell a coherent story and it's carried by some fantastic performances. I do think that there will be people who will walk away from Men feeling that it jumped the shark a little bit, got too crazy, and was overly strange, and I can't, blame them for not enjoying it. The final 20 minutes of this film are batshit insane. If you don't do well with body horror, Godspeed, my friend. So enough about all that, let's actually talk about the movie itself. There's a lot to love here. This is an incredibly well shot film from the very first scene. The lighting is evocative and color is used in some very interesting ways. There's this really cool contrast between green and red in particular that really help to get certain themes across effectively. It's a beautiful film to look at, even when what's actually going on screen is horrifying. Cinematographer Rob Hardy did a great job with this movie and created some very tense scenes through the motion of the camera in relation to the actors. The lush countryside is really brought to life by the sound design as well, which is something that really stood out for me in the theater. There's a sequence that takes place in a tunnel which had such an enchanting quality thanks to the sound design and was probably my favorite part of the movie. I just found this to be a very immersive film, which is helped again by some great actors really giving their all to this insanity. Buckley gives a powerful and emotional performance as this woman aiming to heal from a traumatic event, and I was also really impressed by Rory Kinnear because he has quite a tough role. I'd be remiss to not talk about the amazing practical effects on display here as well. CG is used throughout the film and it's mostly seamless aside from one implementation of it that just didn't really work. Every time it was on screen it was pretty jarring. The practical effects which come into play towards the end of the film are incredible, disgusting, nauseating, gruesome, horrifying, scarring, and fucking awesome. I also loved the soundtrack. It's really atmospheric, it's very, again, enchanting, and just really builds the tone of this movie up. This is a movie with a lot to say, and there are tons of emotional and political themes at play, but it never becomes preachy. It was a very effective exploration of grief, relationships, abuse, manipulation, death, guilt, sexism, and God knows what else I missed. I'm not really sure what else I can say about the movie without getting into spoiler territory, but if you enjoy movies with lots of symbolism that don't give you all the answers and you can handle body horror, I highly recommend this film. It's a beautiful and powerful movie that tackled some very tricky themes in effective ways, carried by incredible actors and boasting one of the most insanely shocking but still thematically relevant and thought-provoking endings in recent memory. It's definitely not my favorite A24 movie, that is still The Lighthouse, but I did really enjoy watching it and I've been trying to piece things together ever since I left the theater yesterday. I love when movies stick with me after viewing, and this one absolutely succeeds in that right. I'm certain that a lot of the dialogue around this movie will be focused on the insane climax, but I really think that that's selling this film short. It's a very poignant, topical, and emotional film that deserves to be talked about in its entirety and not just the shocking ending. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Alex Garland's Men. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below, because I can definitely see this being a very polarizing film. Thank you for stopping by Rockland Graves, and I hope you've enjoyed your stay.